Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It's time for Friday Night Lights. We go over the main slate and DFS for week 7. I do it with my friends Willie Walls and the Great Swame Odell Blocker. Now, Willie, I was a little confused. I thought you won 6,700 last week, not 600 or 700.
Yeah, sure. That's a big difference. That's just like 2,000. Yeah, no sir.
Life-changing difference.
Yeah, yes sir.
Month-changing.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir. You came out ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was killing it, Swami, until about. I mean, I still came out even, but I was up a little bit until like the last 5 minutes of the game, and it got ugly. How'd you do?
I think the injuries hurt me specifically. I think Ibuka going down probably hurt, and then Walls did okay. There's something about not sharing those plays and keep coming up with the same excuse about getting on them late. That's really working well for him, Doc. So I do appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, but Ibuka, he didn't want to kill him. I'm like, come on, Ibuka, you bastard.
Willie, share and share alike. You know that. All right, let's get right to it. Saints and Bears. The Bears are 5-point favorites. Saints play fast. They play up. Willie, will the Bears play fast? Is Caleb Williams a man of interest? DeAndre Swift, Odunze, DJ Moore will play this week. Do you even like this game at all?
Yeah, DJ Moore. I mean, see, I was on Swift, for the Monday night contest. Swift was in there, but New Orleans has been kind of scrappy a little bit. You know what I mean? They a bad team, but they ain't that bad of a team. They're not bad. I mean, they scrap. I mean, to be honest with you, I think the weather for the Saints, because remember the Saints are going on the road, so they're not going to be in that confines. And I think they're supposed to have some type of weather in Chicago. So, I mean, Chicago's fine, but Caleb Williams is too inconsistent for me. He got too many throws that's off the line for me. So, and with Moore back, I definitely don't want any of the receivers. I think they're priced up. I don't want anybody. I don't think Swift is going to do that twice in a row. So, and I mean, the only one that you could think about, but they out on the road is Olave. He's been getting those targets. But other than that, man, I'm not liking too much in this game, to be honest with you.
Swami, are we forgetting Alvin Kamara? Because he's pretty good. Chicago, not very good on run defense. Are we forgetting Kamara, or do we just want to forget this whole game?
Who's Alvin Kamara?
Exactly. All right. I get what you're saying. Next.
But I'll say this, Doc. I thought that Caleb Williams, maybe Odunze. Again, I think you guys covered it well on first look. I think they were interested, but I'm going to agree with Willie. I think once we started to see the weather creep into the game a little bit, it feels like you might be more interested in the defenses and maybe stay away from it. But, again, if the weather were to hold, you might have some interest in Caleb and maybe Odunze. But if it's going to be weather, no thank you.
All right, let's talk about the big weather game, right? The big weather game. Miami at Cleveland. Now, maybe if the weather was good, there'd be some other people involved, maybe a Waller, maybe not. But you've got Judkins, you got a Chan, you got Waddle, and Njoku is out. So Harold Fannin is in, Swami. Are any of these guys appealing to you, or is the weather so bad that you just want to avoid?
When I hear strong wind game, that's not what I think passing. That's not what I think receivers. Maybe tight end if you think it's short passing game, but I think I'll go with Mr. Judkins. And I even had a lot of interest in Waddle in this game, Doc. I heard you on the first look. I think you was interested in Mr. Waddle as well. But when I hear strong winds,
you can do a 10-yard pass, can't you?
Gives me cause for pause.
Are you saying you can't throw a 10-yard pass?
I already don't like the quarterbacks. So it's like now you give any reason to really not like the quarterbacks. I don't know, Doc. I think I'm going to let Willie have it.
All right, let me ask you this question about wind. Everybody, a 35-mile-an-hour wind. What if Permar is right? What if the wind drops to 15 to 20? Nobody's going to want to play these receivers because they didn't have them in their lineups. Really, or could we get an advantage by playing these guys?
Listen, first of all, if it's 5 miles an hour with Tua, his arm is he got a candy arm. No, thank you on that one. And listen, you got to remember, I'm gonna have some interest in the Cleveland defense, man, because you got a Miami team going into some kind of weather but win with those big bad boys on the line. And I'm glad that that 18 had his game last week against the Chargers. We'll talk about that further down the line. But those boys on the line ain't having it. Now, what I am interested in two people in this game. I'm interested in Junkins because I tell you 5.6 yards. Ramonde Stevenson, 138 total yards. Dotto, 234. Vidal just coming off the street, 138. Brees Hall, 111. A-Chain, 128. 2 touchdowns. Listen, I'm just telling you, Miami, you can run on. So I've definitely got interest in Junkins for sure. And I think without Njoku, and I think especially in this game where you got to have short passes, I do like the tight end, Fannin. I think Fannin is a man of interest. Even in the weather, I think those two guys are plays, and it could be a double tight end built slate.
I was just going to ask you that. This feels like you could do two cheap tight ends, right?
Yeah.
Mason Taylor, Fannin. There are a lot of guys, who are relatively inexpensive who could produce.
Yeah, but I also like that Mr. McBride when they changed up quarterbacks because he is now interest when he got somebody who could get him the ball. Anyway, that's a little further ahead.
All right, Patriots and Titans. Titans fire Callahan. Good riddance. Guy was not very good. I don't think it changes the Titans' fortunes at all, Swami. Drake May was so good at the beginning of last week, right? They were on fire, and then they basically turned the off button, right? The off switch. They didn't even do anything in the second half. What about Ramondre Stevenson? What about Diggs? What about the booty? If Diggs is out, do you like the booty more? And I want to have a segment on this show, who's this week's booty, right? We'll get to that later on, right? Because that guy surprised everybody. Willie's been looking for it. We're going to find it for him. Talk to me here, Swami. What do we think about this game?
Pause.
So for some reason, I don't think that you like to think sometimes when the head coach is removed, the team might play inspired. Maybe they come out and they're at home. You try to figure out, will they come out and try to put together a game for the new coach, but it's just nothing that's inspiring about the Titans. I can't see how they can do anything with New England in this game. I like New England's defense. Ramondre Stevenson, I think whenever he comes back out of retirement, I think I'd be interested in him. But right now, I'm going to let you guys have him and that poor man CJ2K you guys talked about. I'm going to let you guys have all of that. I like Mr. Drake May. I think he's playing well, but I don't know if this is the game that I want to. I mean, he'll probably throw for 3 touchdowns, though, because the Titans just can't do anything.
You don't like Stevenson on FanDuel? This is a Mike Vrabel revenge game. Come on, Willie. What do you think?
It is. I mean, but I just think I think he will throw it to different guys. It won't be one person that's going to get all do what Booty did last week. So I mean I like Drake May, but that's all I got for you, really, to be honest with you. And Diggs, but I mean, but Brady, they are going to try to rub it in, but this is just not my focus on this slate.
Look, Isaac, I'm with you. Stevenson, 5,700 on FanDuel. Dude's going to score 1 touchdown. Lock it in right now. Lock it in. All right, let's get to the Raiders and Chiefs. Willie, Mahomes gets Rashee Rice back. It's got Xavier Worthy. Raiders can't do anything. Is this the Chiefs onslaught game that you want?
No, I don't want the onslaught, but I am interested in Rice, especially on DraftKings. At that price of 5,600, I'm definitely interested because I think Rice will show what he was in the preseason. It's not like he came off an injury, but he was already coming off an injury in the preseason. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's been practicing, not practicing with the team, but he's been working out at the facility. And I think they want to get him out and running today. So because I think he's a $7,500, $7,700 player in the future. You know what I mean? So I think this is the time to get on him now. And like I said, I think he's ready to go, and I think Andy's going to have some special things hooked up. And I'm going to tell you, Mahomes has just been balling out, man. He's been balling himself out. I mean, yeah, I think now teams are going to say, we used to make fun of Kansas City, but now you get him back. You got Worthy where he's supposed to be. So I'm not mad at Mahomes, Rice, if you try to do that. But I'm not getting too much of it, but I just got to give respect to excuse my manners, it's Mr. Mahomes, because he has been balling out. He's playing better than any quarterback in the league right now.
Swami, do we think that Rice is just going to be overowned? I mean, at his price, at 5,600, I got to think we're going to see 30%. And in small fields, you could see 40%. Do you follow the guys or do you fade them?
Doc, it was so much wrong with that last segment. I want to start by apologizing to the fans. First, who is saying these horrible things about the Kansas City Chiefs? That they're just in the basement and just can't get it done. It's ridiculous. And then to talk about how Rice is going to come back in and all of a sudden they're going to just feature him and that we should play him because he's a future $20,000 player and that's going to mean he's a great play this week. Crap. Anyway, Doc, Rice is a good play. I think Rice will have something to prove. I think he's looking to put some of those things behind him. That's been probably, been distractions, I'll say, for him over the last probably couple of seasons. And I think they'll probably welcome him back. I think the Chiefs are starting to get something a little bit going. I think they're going to continue to build on that. They got a little bit of momentum, I think they have. He'll come into that, but I think they'll probably spread the ball around. The Raiders have played them tough the last couple of times, but I think the Chiefs will, because the Raiders just aren't playing well right now, I think the Chiefs will probably handle them pretty good. Mahomes will probably have 4 touchdowns. He'll move it around to different people. Maybe Hunt will probably run 1 in or something or 2 in, but I just can't see a reason other than Mahomes why I would want to play any of his receivers right now in the first game coming back.
Would you play a naked Mahomes?
Pause. But yes, I would probably have some interest in Mahomes, but I don't think it would be a bad shot to put him with Worthy. I would even try him with Rice. I just don't love it.
Willie, if Rice goes 5 for 65 and 2 touchdowns, okay? 5 for 65 and 2 touchdowns. So we get you 23. Is that a number that you have to have?
It's not a have to have, but I would like to have it. Maybe he gets 2 touchdowns.
I take that. I take that.
He gets 2 touchdowns. I really think that really, Andy, his first time coming back, I think he's going to have something cooked up for him. I guarantee you, man. I mean, he's at least getting in at least anytime touchdown. He's at least getting it in 1 time. I guarantee you have something for him. So I look for. Like I said, this is the lowest you're going to ever get Rice.
It's true.
Guaranteed.
And the Raiders stink, right?
Yeah.
The Raiders probably don't have Bowers. They might not have Jacoby Myers. What do they even have on offense? Or will you play the Chiefs defense, either of you guys?
I wouldn't be mad at you playing the Chiefs defense. I think the Raiders are playing bad enough, but again, these divisional games, I think it's just better options.
All right, I kind of like the Chiefs defense. All right, let's get to this next one here. The Eagles and Vikings. So Trevor was on this game before, and he was talking about the Vikings defense. Like Andrew Van Ginkel is out, okay? Blake Cashman, there's a chance that he plays. He did have a full practice. That's big. So without Cashman, without Van Ginkel, this is a Saquon love fest. If Cashman comes back, I mean, not like he's the end all, Swami, do you like Saquon? Because it feels to me everybody is run against Minnesota. Why not Saquon?
I like them with those guys in and out. I mean, I do respect what Trevor was saying and where he was going, but I like them either way. I like the game. I think it's got the potential for it to be some points there. I like the fact that that Wentz has something that he might want to come out and show as far as a revenge factor type of narrative. I like the matchup that you can get with his receivers as well. So I think it's just a lot to like. I like obviously Jefferson. I like Devonta. I'm definitely interested in Brown. I think Hawkinson's a man of interest. I'm interested in Mason, and I'm definitely interested in Mr. Saquon Barkley.
Willie, are you interested in this game? Are you interested in Jefferson? You're interested in Barkley?
Excuse me, everybody. Please erase what you just heard. Hawkinson, this is what I gotta say. Hawkinson, he is ass. Do not have Hawkinson in one of your lineups, please. Do not listen to that man down there. That's why he's down there, because he's got unimpressive comments, and we need to keep those comments to a simmer. We don't want them coming up to you guys. That was some bogus, but Wentz is not a bad. Jefferson, I did have more interest into. I heard that the Philadelphia cornerback is going to play now, but Jefferson is getting the targets, so he loves Wentz. So I'm not mad at Jefferson, and I just think that listen, when you give up 2 TDs and 134 yards to Kenneth Gainwell, I'm not happy, because I think their line has something to be desired too, Philadelphia. But they asked their coach, they asked the defensive coach a question about your defense, and he said he didn't have nothing. He said, all he could offer is, we play in the same scheme. We just got to get off the blocks and tackle better. That's not what I want to hear when you're talking about that. So listen, Barkley's. I'm going to have a couple of liners with him, but he's not a core.
So, Willie, if you have 20 teams, how many of them have Barkley?
1 or 2.
He says that until Barkley runs for 140, and Willie's like, I had him on all my lineups.
No, I'm just saying, I don't like
crap right there.
I don't like their line. It's the line play. You know what I mean?
But maybe because of that reason, people won't play him, and then he'll have a great game.
He might, but if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. And I just got other running backs on this slate that I like better, that I don't need to be going with that crap.
And Doc, on that Hawkinson thing, he might not have known that Hawkinson's probably been getting about 6 targets over the last probably 3 or 4 games. He's probably also not tracking that the last time that Hawkinson played the Eagles, he had 25 fantasy points, he had 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Those are the kind of things that he doesn't have.
Excuse me, sir. That's when he had a great quarterback.
I'm almost finished, and then what he'll say is he'll come up with some reason why Hawkinson isn't a play, and then come Sunday, he'll have a bunch of.
I guarantee you.
3,600.
I guarantee you, I won't have that bastard in one lineup. I guarantee. That's a guarantee.
Watch
him. I got too many. I got these 2 tight ends that I can play that I don't need that rascal.
All right, let me just say this about Hawkinson. I can't say for past this season, he's done all of his work on the last 2 drives of the game when Minnesota's been behind, because I have him in a couple of leagues. He literally was getting like 4 catches on that last drive. Ridiculous. All right, let's get to the next one here. Ooh, this is a good one. This is the one where I just know you're going to want players. Panthers and Jets, Willie. Load them up, baby, said no one ever. I'm going to ask you something here crazy. Breece Hall, I'm sure people are going to want to play. I don't like it. Can you play Chuba and Dowdle together, or is that just crazy sauce?
That's crazy sauce. I mean,
they could get 140 yards and 2 touchdowns between them.
That's some crazy sauce, man. That is some crazy sauce. And you can't listen. What the Panthers defense has been a lot better. They have stopped 2 backs the last 2 games that were doing well. You know, actually Devontae Williams with those 29 yards he got the last game. I'm telling you, so they got a defensive lineman back, which they have better. So and Breece, you know, I heard he's going to be high on, and I hope so. You can have all that Breece sauce, because I won't have one bit of that Breece sauce. I guarantee you. I don't need him. I don't need Breece this weekend, and I think Carolina's run defense has played better. And now since Hubbard is back, and they said, you know, they not, you know, see, you know, I just don't agree with that, but it is what it is. This is the first time I'm getting off of Dotto. I won't have.
Well, let me ask you this: what if Permar is right? What if everybody freaks out about Dowdle? Nobody wants to play him, and he drops 18 points, and he's only 3% owned. Is that the smartest play of the weekend?
Well, you think not if other running backs. What's his price now?
Of course, you're going to ask me this question. Hold on, please hold.
68.
68? Yeah, 68.
Yeah, I mean, you got some backs that are 6,000 Junkins that I like a lot, but you understand who ain't sharing. So now he's sharing. And listen, he had those 2 good games, and I thought he's balling really, but I don't like when Hubbard is back. So no, thank you on that one. So I'm gonna have to let him go this week. But Swami and I have been playing him and all.
Do you like Mason Taylor?
Yes, Mason Taylor will be the man. That's the other tight end I was talking about, a man of interest. Because they have really gotten beat against tight ends. Tight ends are really, that's the point where you get to Carolina through tight ends. So I like Jason Taylor a lot, and you got no Wilson, so he might get a lot more looks. So I think Taylor is a man of interest, but you always get scared when Justin Fields is throwing to you. You know what I mean? That don't give you a nice, warm, and comfy feeling. You know what I mean?
Swami, what about the Carolina defense against a bad Jet offense?
Carolina doesn't have any defense, but bring it in. What camera am I on?
3, always 3.
Camera 3. Hey out there, family and friends. So Dave Canales, he's a big fan of the show, along with Brad and Joe. We talk to these guys all the time. After you have a running back run for over 200 yards in back-to-back weeks, and you actually look like you got an offense to even consider Chuba Hubbard. What they said was they were being coy about who they were starting this week, only to have a slight competitive advantage. But if these guys, if these guys have looked at any film and seen what all of us have seen, they're not even considered, with all due respect for Chuba Hubbard, he's a big fan of the show as well. It is not possible. I'm with Palmer. You take the shot here. You take the shot, you be over on Dottle. It's no way they go back to that 3-yard and cloud of dust crap that we saw. And let me caution you guys about this Mr. Taylor, because everybody love him. His quarterback is awful, 45 yards. I don't know how you can split up 45 yards and make it make sense, but let me tell you the tight ends that my good buddy up there in the top right is talking about. McBride, Pitts, Henry, Waller, and Ferguson. Taylor is none of those guys. His quarterback is none of those guys. Stay away from fool's gold like that. Don't you believe it? I always say this about my good buddy. He's got nicknames. Here's one of them. Stat man. Always looking in the rear view. You got to project forward, guys. Do not go for fool's gold like Mr. Taylor. Apologies for my rant, Doc, but the fans needed to know.
Hey, you put him in your article.
Don't you worry about why.
I'm just saying. You put it in your article.
Then I had time to look at this weather.
I'm just saying.
I had time to look at these other
stuff. You put it in your article.
First of all, that's the Zen Master article. That has got nothing to do with the Swami, and you need the Zen Master out of this.
Oh no!
Wait, is that your split personality?
That is
Zen Master and Swami?
Doc is a different persona. I'm not even sure why he's bringing up.
It's like talking
about Clark Kent and.
Are you talking out of both sides of your mouth?
Segment.
Is it Tyrone?
That sounds like two X to me.
Who talks about Bruce Wayne and Batman at the same time? That is so crass, Doc. What's wrong?
Instead of persona, it's assoma. I don't think so, sir. I don't know, man. Get on out of here.
All right, let's go to another game here. I don't know if I can handle any more of this. All right, Giants and Broncos. This is Demaryius Thomas goes into the Ring of Honor. Cortland Sutton sees him as a mentor. Is this, and let me throw out something else. No quarterback was bigger disappointment last week than Bo Nix. It feels like I want to play Bo Nix because nobody wants to play Bo Nix. Swami, Nix, and Sutton, is that the stack you need?
Doc, first, rest in peace to 88, but no, Doc, I don't know if I need Nix and Sutton. And the biggest problem I feel like I have with the game is that it just feels like this could be a scrap. The Giants have been playing much better. I like what Scat is doing. You gotta like what Dart is doing. It just feels like this game could be more of a scrap. I definitely see the matchup. I could see it. I don't know if I want that combination. I see why you would want to take it from a GPP perspective. The shot, they're at home. There's a lot of things to like about it. I just don't love it.
Willie, what about you?
I love Sutton. Sutton is one of my favorite receivers on the slate for the type of defense that the Giants run, that man-to-man defense. Sutton gets 27% of the targets. I'm telling you, Sutton will get 20-something points Sutton is one of my favorite receivers on the slate, so I disagree. The way the Giants play defense, I'm not saying I'm going to be on Bo Nix. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but definitely with Sutton. And Sutton had 1 or 2 points the last game. He had 3 points the last game. I just think Sutton is going to be a man of interest to me.
Doesn't it seem like after Sutton has a bad game, they feed him 10 targets the next game?
Yeah. This is the game to go back to him because he had that. As he's up and down, he is up and down. But this time his stock is up in this game.
Except, Doc, Sutton hasn't been up and down. 18, 26, 19, 17 fantasy points. He's had one game that's disappointed, the 28-29 week 2 game, where you wouldn't before the
last week. He was like 1 for 17.
Yeah, before the last game. But you said up and down. That's 6 weeks of being consistent.
No, it wasn't consistent. He had another bad game. He had at least 2 bad games in there.
That's not up and down after 6 weeks. That's up and down. You know what up and down looks like? That's not. He's had 4 good games in a row. He's a great receiver, great play. But Doc asked you, are you playing Nix and Sutton together? You said you did.
I said no. I told you I'm playing Sutton.
Right. So you didn't disagree. You agreed. I'm just.
I didn't know. I said I'm going to have Sutton in most of my lineups. What is that telling you?
That you don't like Nix.
Yeah, I'm not. Nix is okay, but I got better quarterbacks than Nix. That's all.
I agree with that. Willie, you're not wrong. I think Sutton's a lock button for me, but Nix doesn't have to be. I just thought, a lot of people are going to be on Daniels. A lot of people are going to be on Mahomes. So I'm trying to find another quarterback who could throw for 2 or 3 touchdowns, who is going to be under-owned.
Well, I got it, but I think you could get a guy that's 4,500, who I think could be pretty decent going against Green Bay.
No, look. We gave out Brissett in Discord last week, right? Trevor and I both said Discord, Brissett was a great play. And if Marvin Harrison doesn't get hurt, I think that Brissett would have won somebody $1 million. Really. If you had Brissett, Harrison, and McBride, you could have probably won $1 million last week. All right. Let's see. Permar says, if you play Nix the whole slate, you have to double stack. All right. Maybe that's probably true. All right. Let's get to this next one here. This is an interesting game here, guys. We got 3 more to go. Colts, Chargers. The Colts, Vegas has them getting 29 points. So let me give you 2 guys. I know Willie's going to tell me about Jonathan Taylor. I know he is. Michael Pittman was a huge disappointment last week. Like, big diaper, big poo. That's how bad it was. Okay? Remember when your kids were young and there was just like that big dookie in that diaper? That was Michael Pittman. Josh Downs is out. There is Tyler Warren still. But can we do a Jones, Taylor, Pittman, Jones, Warren, Pittman? What do you think, Willie?
So I'm more on the running game against the Chargers than the passing game because they have been getting – listen, the Chargers have been bad. I mean, anytime you let A-Chain just ran all over them. Man, the Chargers have been getting lit up by the run. And then Merritt, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bill. Then you come A-Chain, who haven't been running over 100, but got 128 yards against the Chargers. Man, they've been getting lit up by the run. So, honestly, because I saw Swami sent some preliminary lineups to a couple, in our little chat thing. And I do like Taylor a lot. And I'm going to have Taylor in like at least half of my lineups because I think the running back pool is a very interesting pool this week, and I think there's many ways you could play the running back pool. But Taylor is definitely a man of interest to me. But all the rest of the guys, honestly, I mean, Pierce would be the guy I would have interest in if I had to go with a pass receiver, with Indianapolis, and of course Warner's always a play. Warner's just a baller, But for me on this slate, man, it's going to be I'm gonna have mostly Taylor on this slate, to be honest with you. And I don't like on the other side as much because Quentin Johnson is back. You know what I mean? So Quentin Johnson was out. Now he's back. So now you're going to be back to the 3 receivers again. So,
Swami, what do you think here with this game? Because there's a lot to unpack here. Maybe the Chargers are going to play better than we think. Maybe the Colts have to play 4 quarters. What do you like in this game?
I like Jonathan Taylor for sure. He's having one of those, no question. He looks like Offensive Player of the Year, and he's probably moved into the MVP conversation to keep it up. He's just playing well. He's got his team playing well. But I think Mr. Pittman has been playing well as well. I look at what he's done over, week to week, even though last week wasn't his best week of the season. Again, the team still won the game. And I think that, he has been solid, and him and Daniel Jones have definitely got something a little bit going. So never mad if you say you want to go back to him at his price. I think he could easily, give you a 20 points. We want to probably get 25 from him. But, I'm not mad at Pittman. Absolutely like Taylor. I think he should probably be a lock. Willie's definition of a lock has changed. It used to change like week to week. Now it seems to change like in between the week. But I think I would lock Taylor in, which means if I got 20 lineups, Doc, I think I would want him in 18 or 19 of those lineups.
Wow. You're gonna pay up.
I think because again, what you always say, we would hear from our good buddy Doc. If you're going to pay up, I mean, if you're looking for that type of leverage, you get it going up. While everybody else is looking for those cheap tight ends and those cheap wide receivers, because there's some guys out and taking some chances there on guys that we really not even sure how much they're gonna get in the game or how many snaps. You're putting in a guy that's probably gonna go for 30 plus this week, and you figure the rest of it out. I love Taylor a lot. On the other side, don't like it as much only because of some of the inconsistency y'all already talked about. But I would be interested with having all three receivers there, and probably Lad the most. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at McConnell. I mean, Keenan, because I think he's getting enough, as far as targets that he could probably emerge out of there. But I feel like Lad is starting to click with Herbert a little bit.
All right. I think is Herbert in play? Because you can throw on the Colts. Are we overlooking Herbert?
We might be overlooking Herbert a little, but I think if you're going to play Herbert, you might want to find a way to probably stack him. Maybe it's the big fella and Lad, or maybe it's Allen and something like that. If I'm gonna play Herbert like that, I would probably double stack.
I'm playing Johnston. I think Lad's been great the last couple of weeks, but this feels like a Johnston week to me.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more games here. Let's get to the one before we get to the good one. Packers Cardinals. Josh Jacobs, if I'm not mistaken, is questionable. I still think he plays. He had a full practice, but he's dealing with an illness. He's dealing with a calf injury. Swami, Jordan Love is a disappointer. He's a disappointer. That's all I got to say about this dude. I like Matthew Golden, but they don't feature him enough. They feature him like 3 or 4 plays a half. I like Dobbs. I like Jacobs. On the other side, Willie's guy Brissett is solid. McBride could be in garbage time. Do we like this game? I feel this game is going to disappoint us.
Like, I don't know. I got some interest in this game. I think that Jacobs, I think he plays. And I actually like him. I like the way he's probably been playing. He's probably a man of interest for me still. I think I'm interested in Kraft. I might even have some interest in either Dobbs or even Golden, maybe more so Dobbs this week. But I think this is one of those games where the Packers are probably going to have to play a little bit, because I think Brissett is going to do enough where they're going to have to throw the ball more. They're going to have to do a little bit more play action. But I think I'm still really interested in Jacobs, and definitely like McBride on the other side. I like Harrison a lot on the other side. I like this game a lot.
Really? A lot? Willie, do you like this game a lot?
I think I'm going to have Brissett a few times. When I don't have Dak or something like that, I'm going to have this quarterback, and he's 4,500. 4,500 in a dome. In a dome, you know what I mean? In a dome, 4,500.
And you're stacking him with McBride?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I play him, McBride is a lock button. If I'm playing him, I mean, and I think McBride. I might have a 2 tight end thing where you have a cheap tight end with McBride to hold it down. But I think unfortunately, because the quarterback is so small, did you hear the comments of what they talking about? They said, "Oh, that ball was coming in there. That ball would look good coming in." I mean, I never seen too many guys make a comment
about it. They could see it better. Yeah, they could see it. Yeah,
they could see his ball better. You understand what I'm saying? So I just think that he got 100. So he had a good game with 24 points, and you upped his price by $100. Wasn't he 4,400 last week?
Yeah, that's due to the matchup. But Green Bay's defense has not been great. They have not put
No.
pressure on the quarterback.
You saw what Flacco did in Green Bay. I mean, Flacco, listen, I was on Flacco yesterday anyway, so that doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, you saw what Flacco did. I'm just telling you, I just think I got some interest in the guns. I think I got definitely the three guys I like more is Jacobs on one side, because I don't know who they're gonna throw it to. And then you bring it back with Brissett, and you bring him back, you bring it back with McBride.
All right, let's get to the big one, the big kahuna. Willie's Washington Commanders going up against the Dallas Cowboys. I would argue everybody's a good start in this one. You got Daniels. I think Debo goes. I love me some Zach Ertz this week. Love Zach Ertz. I like Krosky Merritt. I like Javonte. I love CD Lamb. I mean, I could just see this game. I can stack this in 27 ways. Now, that's one way of thinking. Is there a way this game fails and all of a sudden everybody's stacking this game and it fails, and whoever doesn't stack it makes money? Talk to me, Willie.
I mean, I'm not going to say it fails, but the prices on the Cowboys, you know what I mean? The prices on them. I mean, I like Lamb. Okay, I would like Lamb, but Pickens at $200 less than Lamb. You know what I mean? So we're paying peak prices for the Cowboys. Now, I agree with that. See, the way I would go about it is you can play Dak, and maybe you play Lamb, or you play Dak by itself, because Dak can throw it to anybody. But I mean, Ferguson is not going to get as many targets now because Lamb is back, and he's priced at his fullest price. So I can't play him. I can't play Ferguson. I think Pickens is a great player, and the Commanders give up stuff deep. So, but I mean, if I got Lamb and I got Pickens at the same price, I got to go with Lamb. At 7,500. I'm not going to go with Pickens. So, I mean, Lamb is the one I'm interested in. I said I'm not really interested too much in Devontae. I get it, but with the backs that's on the slate here, and I just like Bill Moore on the other side. I like Bill Moore on the other side. So I'm not going with Javonte, but I think Dak is definitely a man of interest to me. I'm going to have some Dak, but I think I probably just stack him with Lamb, and then have maybe Bill on the other side of this game. And I love Ertz. I love Ertz in this game. I think Ertz is a great matchup. I will play Ertz over Ferguson in this game.
100%. 100%. Swami, where are you with this game? Do you love it or not?
I love the game. I think you already nailed one of my favorite plays in there, which was Zach Ertz. I like Debo. I like Bill Krosky. And I like, obviously, Jaden Daniels. I think my sneaky play in here was playing maybe Dak with Lamb. I think, I didn't think a lot of people were interested in that combination this week. You talked about being sneaky. So I think I'm going to agree. It's the first time I probably say I don't want to play a lot of the other pieces. I think Mr. Ferguson, I think he was great, but I don't like him necessarily in this spot with Lamb being back. So I'm going to probably stay away from him, especially with him being priced so close to McBride. And then, again, there's something about that Lamb play that I don't think a lot of folks are going to like with him just coming back from injury, and it's very intriguing.
Swami Isaac asked, do you like Dowdle over Krosky Merritt this week?
That's tough for me. I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep going with Rico the way he's running. He's running like somebody who this game means something to him. Every week means something to him. He's making the most out of his opportunity. I like what Cross is doing, but it just seemed like they're probably going to feature Rico more than Cross.
From what I'm hearing, I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing that Hubbard's going to get run. I'm telling you, man. And it's the coach, man.
Who's going to get run?
Hubbard. I'm hearing Hubbard's going to get run.
Oh, I want to go back to what Swami said in this game. Why do you think that Dak and Lamb is going to be under-owned?
I just think because Lamb just coming back from the injury, that some folks are going to want to do the wait and see with that. And nobody's really talking about Dak. Dak has been, I think, fine a little bit under Not a lot of bit, but a little bit. It's been a lot of folks talking about Caleb Williams, a lot of folks talking about Jaden Daniels, a lot of
Ooh.
folks talking about. No, they have, and a lot of folks been talking about.
I think Mahomes and Daniels will be over 15%. I do. So then I think, Dak will be on the cheap. I think Lamb will be expensive, though. I do.
Expensive or how owned?
Well, he is expensive, highly owned, too.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I mean, I could be wrong on the ownership, but I'm not the ownership guy. That's Willie's lane. But I just think that Lamb is coming back. He's in a good spot. This is a division game. He's at home. It's just a lot of reasons for me to like CD to go nuts.
Listen, I like Lamb too. And I really do in this game. Now, what I'm not going to get to is I see people keep talking about Debo. Debo hurt. Debo is hurt. If you didn't see that in that last game, he's hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not paying that money for Debo when he on two. Come on, man. I love Debo, but I don't like a Debo who got a bad heel.
Let me give you a way that Krosky merit fails. Okay. And I'll give you a guy that nobody's thinking about in this planet. McNichols could have a bigger fantasy day than Krosky merit.
If they fall behind.
What if they fall behind? That's right.
If they fall behind.
They fall behind, you're going to have McNichols out there catching 5, 6, 7 passes, and all of a sudden he goes 7 for 41. Maybe he finds trips in the end zone. He put up a 16-point day. Krosky Merritt, if they're winning, this guy is great. But if they're losing, he's not on the field.
Right. But I think this game is going to be back and forth. But I mean, out of the quarterbacks, even though I love Jaden Daniels, I just think Dak got more weapons.
He does.
He got more weapons.
But I feel like Rico has had a better game in the last game, or any one of the last two, than Hubbard had in his last 3.
Listen, we all agree with that, but we ain't coaching. I mean, Swami, we've always said this. Sometimes we say what we see. I see the same thing you see, but if that coach don't give him 63% of the snap, you follow what I'm saying? That's different. And he's priced to the 6,800. So it's like you're not getting the full 100% like you had out of him. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I'm rolling the dice with him, Doc. If they idiots, I'm gonna be an idiot with them this week.
All right, let's do a couple of things. Let's do the stack. I give you $100 bill, Willie Walls. Where is that stack going?
I'm going Brissett, McBride, and running back with Jacobs.
Easy peasy. Swami?
I would probably add Harrison to that stack, but I'm gonna give you a different one because he stole that one, a sneaky rascal. And I think I'm gonna go with that same C note. I'm gonna go with Lamb and Dak. Like I said, I think I want to bring it back with. I'm tempted to say Debo just because he said that thing about Debo being hurt, but I'm gonna come bring it back with my man Zach Ertz right now.
I like that. I do.
I love Ertz in this game.
I love Ertz too in this game. What if I go? I don't know what I want to do. I something just tells me I need to be on Mahomes, Rice. I know it feels chalky, but it's good chalky to me. Or I like Bo Nixon, Sutton, like I said before. All right, instead of calling.
How about throw Worthy in there, Doc? Would you be interested in that? To throw off the chalk a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it a stack.
Yeah, go all in. Look, I think Mahomes is going to throw 4 touchdowns this week. So if 2 go to Rice and 1 go to the Worthy and Mahomes throws all 4, we're making money.
Right.
All right. So instead of calling it the cheap bastard play, let's call it this week's booty.
I don't know about. Let's go with cheap bastard, Doc.
Paul!
All right, let's go to the cheap bastard. Let's stay there. All right, Swami, give me your cheap bastard play of the week.
My cheap bastard this week. We've already talked about him. I am put Palmer on list. I'm putting it all on. I'm letting it ride with Mr. TJ Hawkinson this week. He's in a good spot. He's got a good price. Folks, it's more about the game than it is about anything else. I think the game makes him a man of interest.
Willie
Walls, who is the cheap bastard play for you?
Well, I got 2 of these cheap bastards. Let me get I got to make sure I got to get his first name.
It's Willie.
Mr. Harold Fannin
Fannin
of Cleveland. And somebody ain't nobody think about Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims of Denver, because they playing that man-to-man defense, and he does pretty well against man-to-man.
Man, they talk about Denver every week. These
Who
numbers.
who else I talk about in Denver? I
Not
know.
you. Every week,
I like
something
some.
about.
You ask me somebody at the cheap bastard that nobody will have is going to be Marvin Mims.
No, I'm
My
saying
cheap bastard, Swami, is I'm going back to the well. You know the well, the Rashid Shaheed well.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I think Moore might be in play this week if Debo's banged up. He's
Chris
3,000.
Moore, I like Chris
Moore.
Moore.
I like Moore anyway.
He's 3,000. I think he's decent. We didn't talk about the Jets wide receiver, but I think I have some interest in maybe Reynolds. Again, don't love it, but if you're looking, and then Ayo for Tennessee.
And then you going to look at me about Mims? You talking about Reynolds?
I don't like any of them, but these guys.
I don't like them either.
Are cheap bastards like you, Willie.
All right, give me the balls to the walls call from Willie Walls.
You know what? And I'm going to do it because he talked about him and he said that he's not a play. Mr. Taylor of Miami, I apologize for what he said about your son. It's going to be Taylor of the Jets. He's going to show you what's up when he gets 17 points, and he's going to get in the end zone too. He's going to have about 8 catches for 60 yards and a tutty. If he gets that at his price point, he's going to be one of those guys that you need to have. And you talked about him, but it's a great matchup. That's the weakness that Carolina has. And I'm telling you, and I don't feel good about it, because I tell you that feels make me scared. But I think Taylor's going to be a man of interest in this game.
Swami says,
how do you get away with this stuff? He picks a chalky tight end, and everybody's talking about.
You just said you can't play him. You can't play him. I'm saying because you don't like him. You said he sucks. He won't get in with Fields. Who wants to play him when Fields is there? Nobody.
Well, it wasn't like Fannin was the cheap bastard, Swami. My grandma knew that play.
That's what I'm saying. It's terrible, Doc. It's so bush league. Anyway, so I think this week, if I had to pick somebody who I would say was a balls to the walls call, I don't know if this is ball to well, but I want to say it because I don't think I've mentioned it yet. I though I've said it and I've talked about it a little bit with like the Devonta Smith and talked about liking that game. I think I want to just put a name. Something about my guy here, Doc. I think I'm going to stick with him because I don't think nobody like him. Denver's pretty tough, but it's something that makes him a man of interest this week. And I'm talking about Skate Busy. There's something about this guy, the targets he's getting out the backfield, the way that I feel like they could continue to use him here this week that makes him a man of interest. Denver is tough, but I think it's called balls to the walls. Have some kahunas.
Scatterbo.
It's about kahunas.
20-something points in every game. You talking about me? Are you kidding me?
It's not
you
about
talking about one guy, and you go to Scatterboo.
Nobody likes Scatterboo. This is not about chalk.
I am going to give, this is not a visionary play, okay? The visionary play is Ramondre Stevenson getting 2 touchdowns. My balls to the walls call from Willie Walls is Justin Fields. Fields.
That's a balls to the walls play, Doc. Show him how it's done.
I will give you Mason Taylor, and I will connect it to Mr. Fields. And that may be the stack that wins somebody a mil.
That's balls to the walls, Doc.
But you just talked about my Taylor. You said Taylor.
I'm putting Taylor in it.
Right.
Well, I know.
He's putting it together. That is a good stack, Doc. You talk about low owned, but still has some possibilities of really, really paying off. I like it a lot. The thing about Ramondre, I would take 2 fumbles from Mr. Ramondre before I take 2.
You may get 2 fumbles and 2 touchdowns from Ramondre.
That's how bad the other guy's been. Because he's still a favorite.
All right. Isaac's balls to the walls calls Alec Pierce. My man Chris says Jordan Addison's his call.
Hey, Jordan Addison is actually a very, very good player.
Hey, King, not bad.
I like that Jordan.
Permar has your boy Mims.
Mims, I'm telling you, man. Mims.
All right. So that's we have it. So what are we going to do tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Fantasy Radio? I'll be there with Fantasy House Calls. On Sunday morning, you got to get in the Discord over at drroto.com. We gave out Brissett. We gave out Gadsden. We're giving out plays right there that you can win with on Sunday morning. So enter the promo code WIN and you'll get some 10% off our monthly package. What else do we have to say? Anything? Is that it?
4 points for Mims. Over or under?
4 points for Mims. I'm going to go over.
Okay.
4.5. Can you bet 4.5? All right. For Willie Walls, the Great Swame, this is Dr. Roto saying be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.